And some of you will be like, no, you're not a military expert. You don't understand this and you don't understand that. Well, perhaps. But we'll see in the future, next few weeks or months, whether just thinking for yourself in a very simple way will tell you all you need to know about why the U.S. is in a boatload of trouble, to use a pun, in Iran or near Iran. Okay, so let's go to the map and let's get my pen going. So this is the Strait of Hormuz. Now, what the U.S. Navy wants to do is it wants to come in here. Well, what the major media says they want to do, or a couple things that they want to do, is they want to come in here. There are all these boats, all these ships right here, and the Navy wants to escort these ships through the Strait of Hormuz, out to the Arabian Sea, and then to wherever they need to bring their oil. And the first thing that the Navy, the media doesn't report is that it's not like, the 1942 World War II or even 40 or 50 years ago. So 40, 50 years ago, you might have, a piece of artillery here, right? A couple of pieces of artillery, maybe a rocket launcher, and then you're escorting, your warship is escorting a tanker out, and if this thing lobs something at the tanker, it fires back and it eliminates the position, and does that all along the coast. So yeah, that would have worked 70 years ago. But it won't work today because artillery is not used to, or crude rockets are used against ships. Very cheap drones and missiles. So if a destroyer made it in here, then Iran would launch, let's just say, 120 anti-ship missiles at it, a combination of anti-ship missiles, drones, sea drones. And because these Ali Burke class destroyers essentially only have 100 missiles, they can only carry 100 missiles in defense. Once they go through them, they have nothing to shoot. And then again, there's an unlimited supply, near unlimited supply of these drones and anti-ship missiles here. So they just keep shooting. The ship has nowhere to hide. It gets hit. It gets sunk. This is what I think everybody in the Navy understands. The media could go talk to some of them off the record, and I think that they would tell you. Why don't they? Because they know Americans don't want to know, like, hey, yeah, they have you beat. I mean, they have the U.S. beat so badly. I mean, it's just, it was beat. People knew this beforehand. This is why, think about when the war started, when the U.S. started attacking, right? All the ships had left these ports. There's a port up here at Bahrain. They had left the ports and went out. Why'd they go out? Because they knew what was going to happen. They knew if they'd stay, they'd get sunk. So they left. All right, so now they're all sitting out here, far away. Now, why are they far away? So if Iran shoots a hypersonic anti-ship missile in about 300 kilometers, depending on where they shoot it from, but it's going to be 3 to 5 minutes. So you bring your ship up anywhere within this 300 kilometer line, right? And you just even try to get right here. And let's just say that they launch 10 of these things from different directions coming at the ship. And then there's a whole bunch of drones and a whole bunch of boats. Now you'll read, these ships can track 100 objects. Yeah, it's all well to track them, but you have to send missiles to get them. And what's most important, and what they won't point out, is it's not like the Ali Burke has 100 defensive missiles and each one is guaranteed to hit what's coming at it. No, it's not guaranteed. And if you look at Israel, what's going on, the interception rates are all over the place, but you can see for yourself that most of the interceptors don't hit the missiles. And some experts say it's like 5%. So if Iran shoots even, 10 missiles, probably one of them are going to get through. And that's just a fact. So, well, not a fact, but I think that's just very well known for anybody. I think if you think about it yourself, you can figure that out. Now, in the Black Sea in Ukraine, right, is the Russian Navy in the Black Sea patrolling around much anymore? No. Well, why? because Ukraine has the same thing. Actually, it doesn't even have nearly the capability of Iran because Ukraine just got into the drone boat and submersible attack vehicle thing, a few years ago, whereas Iran's been in it for decades. So, it's not even any match. But even Ukraine could play catch up and kick the Russian naval fleet out of the Red Sea. So why Iran can't do that is beyond me. I don't know why, again, that all these media companies never ask these questions. They'll say, hey, listen, by the way, I've been watching the Ukraine war, and it seems like Russia's out of the Black Sea. Why would the U.S. be any different? Why could we get into the Persian Gulf and stay and escort ships better than Russia? Russia doesn't seem to be able to do it. So why could we? And Black Sea is even, I think, bigger and easier to hide. Again, these are such obvious things. So when the Moskva, remember, that was Russia's capital ship. It's this #1 destroyer. And they were so confident that they were sailing around 100 kilometers from shore. Again, with Ukraine was, it was still working on an anti-ship missile. Again, it was playing catch up. It wasn't ready, but Russia's like, no way you're going to finish it, or no way it's going to hit our ship because we have all this, the same hubris that the U.S. has, whatever. So they were floating around 100 kilometers away, and Ukraine fired a couple of missiles, and goodbye Moskva. Now, not because the missiles completely blew it up, but and it's going to be the same thing for the Navy. War has unintended consequences. When these missiles hit these boats, I don't care how much planning you have, you just never know how things are going to go wrong. What boilers might blow up, right? Or what ordnance might blow up, or what water might come seeping in somewhere or whatever. You just don't know. Anyway, in the Ukrainian thing, the Moscow limped away for a while, and then basically sunk. So, it's the U.S. Navy cannot even get into the Sea of Oman here, which is right here, let alone past the Strait of Hormuz. But even if the Navy somehow could run this gauntlet into the Strait of Hormuz and into the Persian Gulf, I don't know, Iran 24/7 would just be taking shots at it. I don't know. How long do you think it would survive? Again, all the ships, already left before the U.S. attack because they all knew that this is a freaking kill zone. I'm just going to do a kill zone here. Kill zone. No ship will survive Iran's attacks in here. They've been building. Okay, so then let's talk about another thing. So, you might say, well, okay, they talk about, okay, we're going to get air superiority, and we'll bomb as they send their missiles, right? As they send their missiles, we'll have our fighter jets come over here. Is that a good fighter jet? We'll have our fighter jets come over here, and we'll bomb. It's a really bad fighter jet, right? we'll bomb these things. Well, no, because they have SAMs, surface-to-air missiles. So as the fighter jets even get close to here, they'll be shot at by these SAMs, and they won't make it. So there's no way a fighter jet can get close. And now the fighter jets here that are coming from the aircraft carriers way out here bombing Iran, they're basically scooting over around here and coming in this direction. I mean, they're not coming, or they might even be able to come over here, but they're not going to get there. I mean, Iran has the air defense to take care of it. Now, again, news, you read it it says it doesn't. Well, if it didn't, right, if they really could do something like this, then you would see these planes flying over. In the Gulf Coast, you would see these planes. Well, you don't, because they can't. So the planes can't get close to the shore where they can use weapons very quickly to knock out anything they see being pulled out of a tunnel. They could drop JDAMs, I guess, from here, bombs that glide along here. They can launch cruise missiles into here. But again, you have to reach it quickly enough. And if you launch a cruise missile at 600 miles per hour, it's probably 2 hours or whatever till it gets here. So, okay, Iran pulls the SAM out of a tunnel, fires at the aircraft, and then scoots back in. You can't reach it by then. The timing just does not work. So, You can't do that. What they don't tell you about is everything is hidden under here, in tunnels and whatever. All these tunnels, and you can hit the entrance, but that there are other entrances. You don't know if it's a fake tunnel. You don't know where in the tunnel they are. They're tunnels that go under to Kharge Island. They think they're tunnels that go into the strait. I mean, everything is underground. And keep in mind, with Hamas, right? Hamas, those are tunnels built by, these are amateur hour tunnels. Iran, these tunnels are industrial grade tunnels that you drive, trucks through. So Israel, after 2 years, could not destroy the crude tunnels of Hamas. And now you say that Israel and the U.S. are going to destroy these industrial grade tunnels, made over decades with, hundreds of millions of dollars. Again, this isn't Hamas. So it's nutty talk. So then we have the talk about, okay, well, we're going to land troops on Kharge Island, let's just say. Well, again, how are you going to get them through this? How you can get any troop carrier ship through this? This, again, is also a kill zone. Here's Iran. It's a kill zone. You're not going to get through it. You're not going to get planes through it. But okay, let's just say whatever. They sneak some planes in and they drop some troops there. Well, who's going to protect them? They're alone. They have no support. So now they have to fight to hold this land against, 90 million Iranians. 2,500 troops. It's a death sentence. It's suicide mission, right? It's impossible. It's just not going to happen. And I would like scream at the TV when all these dumb ideas, like, we're going to bring enough boats and we're going to get in there and we're going to escort the ships out. Just ignoring all the drones and the firepower that Iran has amassed right here, which has been known for 47 freaking years. But anyway, everybody knows it. So again, I just want to, again, let me just say, Iran's been planning this for 20 years. Every analyst I've read over the years, I'm not a deep expert, but I read here and there, have all said the same thing. The U.S. cannot stop Iran from controlling the Strait of Hormuz. And it's even worse than it was before because Iran has knocked out all the early warning radars in the Gulf Coast states. The bases are basically deserted. They're blind. They can't see anything. Any boat, it can't even get close to the Strait of Hormuz. Again, in my opinion, can't even get close to the Strait of Hormuz. So when these newspapers and these pundits are coming on and say, oh, well, we can get ships. How are you going to escort them through the strait? You don't even get through the Sea of Oman. Forget about passing the strait into the Persian Gulf. I mean, how? Just tell me how. How? I just don't get. Okay, I don't know anything. But these experts, it's just all wishful thinking. And Americans are all like, we're the strongest military. It's like they're brainwashed. It's like, we're the superpower. We're the superpower. We're the superpower. And we can do what we want. Oh, we want to, land troops on Kharge Island. We can land troops on Kharge Island. We want to knock out their missiles. We can knock out their missiles. Like, it's just like, I don't know where to start. It's like, what? You're not in reality. This isn't 1944. This isn't even 1982. This is 2026. And drone technology gives and missile technology, the MEMS and the gimbal type technology is all given the advantage to the attacker with cheap drones. That's 2026. And so I don't see how the U.S. or anybody, it's not even just about it's just like if you said, okay, well, Russia's going to take some ships and sail it up into Baltimore or China, it would be the same thing. So it's not like this. I'm just saying the U.S. is horrible or whatever. I'm not saying that at all. Though I will say that the ships are built for a war from 40 years ago. They're not built for current stuff. But anyway, even if you were China with the most advanced stuff, are you going to make it into the port of Baltimore? No, because it's the same thing. On land, we can produce way more ship-killing weapons than they can bring with them on their ship to defend them. And because those numbers are so in our favor, there's no way. This isn't about the U.S. being weak and not being able to get into the Persian Gulf. This is true for all water. Navies can no longer operate near shore anywhere, period. You can see that in the Black Sea. You can see it here. Why that isn't in the news, why that isn't like the premise that they start from is beyond me. And look, oh my God, 16 minutes. I've gone on and on and on. I think that's enough. You get the idea. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Good night.